If Stipe Miocic had faced Jon Jones in his prime, we could have witnessed one of the greatest and most compelling heavyweight fights in UFC history. Both men, legends in their own right, have solidified themselves as two of the best mixed martial artists the sport has ever seen. Miocic, a record-setting UFC heavyweight champion, known for his toughness, wrestling, and knockout power, would have met his match in Jon Jones, a fighter many consider the greatest of all time due to his unparalleled fight IQ, reach, and adaptability. To imagine Stipe Miocic in his prime against Jon Jones is to visualize an intense battle of styles. Miocic's prime, arguably around 2016 to 2018, was marked by his dominance in the heavyweight division. During this time, Miocic was virtually unstoppable, dispatching legends like Fabricio Verdum, Alistair Overeem, Junior Dos Santos, and Francis Ngannou. His combination of technical boxing, incredible cardio for a heavyweight, and collegiate wrestling background made him a nightmare for anyone at the top of the division. At his best, Miocic was the complete package. He had the power to knock out opponents with a single punch, the wrestling to control them on the ground, and the intelligence to adapt to any situation in the cage. He could maintain a blistering pace over 5 rounds, as we saw in his trilogy with Daniel Cormier, another all-time great. Miocic's ability to blend striking and grappling, as well as his legendary toughness, allowed him to absorb punishment and keep moving forward. This resilience was one of his defining traits, making him a fierce competitor who never seemed to tire, even when facing the most dangerous heavyweights in the world. On the other hand, Jon Jones is a once-in-a-generation talent. As a former light heavyweight champion who successfully defended his belt against a who's who of the division's elite, Jones is widely regarded as one of the most well-rounded fighters in MMA. His ability to mix striking, wrestling, submissions, and creativity in the octagon is unmatched. Jones has an unprecedented reach advantage, allowing him to keep opponents at bay with long-range strikes and unpredictable elbows, knees, and spinning techniques. His wrestling, despite coming from a primarily striking-focused game, is world-class, and his ability to control the pace and position of the fight makes him an enigma for any fighter. Now, the real question becomes, how would prime Stipe Miocic fare against a fighter like Jon Jones? The fight would likely begin as a cautious, tactical affair, with both fighters respecting each other's skills. Miocic, with his solid boxing, would look to close the distance and land powerful combinations. His right hand has proven deadly in past fights, and if he could get inside on Jones, there would be a real threat of knocking him out. Miocic's head movement and ability to mix levels, faking takedowns to set up strikes, would be crucial in avoiding Jones' long, probing jabs and front kicks. However, Jones, with his 84-inch reach, would make closing that distance a monumental task. He is a master at using his reach to frustrate opponents, keeping them at bay while wearing them down with leg kicks, body strikes, and elbows. If Miocic were to get too aggressive, Jones could counter with his signature oblique kicks to the knees or spinning back elbows. These techniques, while unconventional, are a key part of what makes Jones so dangerous. He doesn't fight like anyone else, and his creativity often overwhelms his opponents. The grappling exchanges would also be fascinating. Miocic, a former Division I wrestler, would likely try to take Jones down and impose his will from top control. However, Jones' wrestling has proven to be incredibly strong, even against elite wrestlers like Daniel Cormier. Jones has a unique ability to defend takedowns and reverse positions with ease, often finding himself in dominant positions. That said, Miocic is much bigger and stronger than anyone Jones has faced at light heavyweight, which could give him an edge in clinch exchanges or against the cage, where he might be able to wear Jones down with dirty boxing and wrestling. If the fight went to the ground, it would likely be a battle of control. Miocic would want to keep Jones pinned and unleash his vicious ground and pound, which has finished many opponents in the past. On the other hand, Jones' dangerous submission game, particularly his guillotines and chokes, could come into play if Miocic made a mistake in scrambling or left his neck exposed. Jones is also known for his ability to create space and land damaging elbows from the bottom, making him a threat even in seemingly compromised positions. Cardio would be another factor in this hypothetical matchup. Miocic, despite being a heavyweight, has shown excellent stamina in 5-round wars, as seen in his trilogy with Daniel Cormier and his fights against Ngannou. Jones, meanwhile, has consistently gone the distance in 5-round fights and is known for maintaining his composure and output over the course of a long, grueling battle. Both fighters would be well prepared for a war of attrition, but Jones' ability to fight smart, conserve energy, and control the pace of the fight might give him an advantage in the later rounds. Mentally, both fighters are incredibly tough. Miocic has endured wars in the cage, facing some of the hardest hitters in the sport and never backing down. He's been knocked down, hurt, and pushed to his limits, only to come back stronger. Jones, on the other hand, has fought under immense pressure throughout his career, constantly having to prove himself as the pound-for-pound best while dealing with outside controversies. His ability to rise to the occasion, even when fighting legends like Mauricio, Shogun, Rua, Rampage Jackson, and Daniel Cormier, speaks to his mental fortitude. Ultimately, the fight between prime Stipe Miocic and Jon Jones would be a chess match of the highest caliber. Both fighters have the tools to win, but it would come down to who can implement their game plan more effectively. Miocic would need to close the distance, make it a dirty fight, and impose his size and power. Jones, meanwhile, would look to stay on the outside, use his range, and frustrate Miocic with his diverse striking arsenal. The beauty of this hypothetical matchup is that it truly could go either way. If Miocic were able to land one of his powerful combinations or secure a takedown and dominate on the ground, he could hand Jones his first legitimate defeat. But if Jones were able to keep Miocic at range and dictate the terms of the fight, he could outpoint the heavyweight champion and prove why he's considered the greatest of all time. In the end, a prime Stipe Miocic versus Jon Jones would have been a fight for the ages, a clash of titans that fans would never forget. It would be the ultimate test of two of the best fighters in UFC history, each with their own unique path to victory. One thing is certain: the octagon would have been the stage for a battle of skill, heart, and determination, with the winner cementing their legacy as the undisputed greatest of all time.